Welcome to today's meditation time. It is an honor to be here with you, to be back at home in my familiar and comfortable space, walking this path with you, spending these few minutes with you. So I would invite you that wherever you are in your space, just settle in, get comfortable. Maybe you've chosen to sit, maybe you've chosen to lie down. Either way, the most important thing is that you are comfortable physically in your space, physically in your body, so that we can begin to focus on our breath and on finding our way to this present moment that's been given to us. So as you've settled in, let's just gently close our eyes. And I want you just to notice your breath just for the first few rounds. Just kind of check in with yourself at the end of this weekend, going into a new week, and just see, what does your breath feel like? Is it already slow and rhythmic and even? Or does it need a little help getting there? So just notice the breath. And I would encourage you that in the same way that we notice the breath right here in our time together, that you would notice it throughout your day and throughout your week. Notice, because the breath tells you so much about what's happening within you emotionally and mentally and energetically. So just get used to pausing and paying attention to how you're breathing. And as we've settled in, let's start to breathe together now. So with intention, take a long, slow breath in. Just fill yourself up as much as you can, and then with the same intention, breathe out what you do not need. Inhale again, slow and deep. Breathe out what you don't need. One more time, slow breath in. An intentional breath out. And then just continue with a rhythm that feels right for you. So the words that I have chosen to share with you in these few minutes that we have are connected to this idea of homecoming. And I want you just to imagine the last time that you went on a trip somewhere. It could have been just for a few days. It could have been for a long time. I can tell you, these last 7 days being away were wonderful. But I bet that as you think about the last trip or two that you went on, you also remember what it was like to come home. Even if we are traveling, as I have been so fortunate to do this last week, to a place that is beautiful and just unique and filled with amazing things, there is something even more precious about coming home. There's always that little pull toward the end of your trip when you start to miss the familiarity. We complain about missing our bed or missing our space or missing our things. We miss our fur babies. We miss our family. We miss the routine that we're used to with where our coffee pot sits in our kitchen and how things look in our home and how things smell. And so just imagine the last trip you went on. What did it feel like to come home? There's a sweetness to it. And even as you plan the next trip, the same thing will inevitably happen. You'll find yourself in a wonderful place or with wonderful people. You'll see amazing things. You'll rest. You'll rejuvenate. And somewhere along the way, you'll get that twinge inside again, that ache for home. The ache is really for the familiarity of the life that we have built. It's like we come back home and connect back to our source, the place where we feel the most comfortable. And I hope that for each of you that is listening to this, that your home is a place like that. A place where you feel at ease, where you feel safe and comfortable. A place that you look forward to, not even just after a long trip, but after a long workday. Having a space that is just yours. And so this idea of this homecoming after the end of a trip or the end of a workday is very similar to our meditation practice. We go back out into our day. We go about our schedule. Even the things that are wonderful and good, they pull us away more and more from this home base of our meditation practice. And so that's why I asked you when we first began, just really connect to your breath. Find balance within it so that even when you're physically far away from this space that you have your meditation practice, or for some of us when we're far away emotionally from it, all of a sudden we can go back to the breath and we remember what this sweet spot feels like. And so let's think of our time together in these moments that we have as a homecoming. A coming back to a place, to a space that is comfortable. Often people start meditation and they shy away very quickly because the quiet of just being with you, yourself, is really intimidating. But I think that each of you will realize, and maybe you already have, that the more we practice, the less intimidating it becomes to be with ourselves, and the more comforting it becomes. Just like that homecoming at the end of a vacation or the end of the workday. We settle into this spot that is ours on our cushion, on our chair, on your bed, wherever you've landed, and it feels like home. And so what I'd like for us each to do, you in your space and me in mine, let's just breathe for just a few seconds here, just a few rounds. And usually I ask you to keep your eyes closed, but I would invite you that as you breathe, just gently allow your eyes to just flutter open and take in the things around you. Look over toward your left and see what's there. Look over toward the right and see what's there. Maybe even look up a bit. The things high on the wall or the curtains on the rod. The fan or the light on the ceiling. And then bring your sight back here right in front of you. See what's there. And then gently close your eyes. You know this space so well that we could have left our eyes closed and probably named the things to the left and to the right and above us and in front of us. But there's something comforting about seeing it and confirming that it's there. That's the preciousness of your meditation space. And then we can take it a step further. There's a comforting thing about being in this space with just you. It doesn't require any special decor or special furniture. It just requires a commitment to show up and be with you. And we don't have a mirror in front of us, but if we did, you could open your eyes and receive confirmation of that face that you know so well. You could look at those hands that you've seen hundreds of thousands of times. You could look at that little scar or that freckle or that spot that's just part of you. And somewhere in there, there's comfort. Like the home at the end of the day or the vacation. Like the physical space where you practice your meditation. The same thing happens when you start to intimately connect to yourself. And when that happens, you're able to take your meditation practice anywhere. At your desk, at work, sitting at a red light in traffic, in a parking lot or a parking garage before you get out and go about your day, on on a park bench outside of your office building. You can take it anywhere. So what I'd like us to do for these next couple of minutes is each of us in our space, just sit with ourselves. And as you do, try to conjure up this idea that it is like a sweet homecoming. We were busy today. Some of you encountered things that may not have been good. But coming back to this spot with just you is sweet and good and stable. So let's just sit and breathe for these next couple of minutes and just feel the presence of you. And as we continue just to sit or lie where you are with your eyes closed, I want us to do one more scan. But rather than looking around the room that you are in, we're going to take this scan through our heart center. Because before this new week comes, let's make sure we are really aware and really connected to what's going on inside of us. Where the hurts are, where the joy is, where the gratitude sits, where the sorrow hangs out. And so the same way that we turned our head to the left and the right and up and in front, I want you just to imagine that with your eyes closed, you're turning your focus inward and you're trying to see right into your heart center. And as you just metaphorically look to the left side of your heart, see the things over there that you are so very grateful for. And then figuratively, our view is going to go over to the right side. And over there, see the things that you are carrying that are really heavy right now. And then figuratively, as you look up toward the top of your heart center, see the things that you wish and you dream about and you hope for. And then imagine that you're bringing your gaze right to the center. See what makes you you. Just like those freckles and those scars and those little movements in your hair and lines on your hands, see inside of you what is the incredible, unique thing that makes you you. Let's take a long, slow breath in. Fill yourself up as much as you comfortably can, and then exhale, let it go. A long, slow breath in. Exhale, let it go. And as we prepare to close our time, my wish for you is that you will continue to see your heart as concretely as you see that physical space where you sit for your meditation practice. And as much as you see the home when you come home from a long vacation or a day out at work, Start to focus on what's going on inside of you and see it as concretely and real as all the things around you. Go back to the breath often and let it bring you back to this moment that we are sharing right here and right now. Namaste.